Hi everyone, today we are talking about line plots. Objective, I can create a line plot and use it to describe data. A line plot uses X's to show amounts. It's similar to a bar graph, but instead of bars, you have columns of X's. We will create some examples on the next few slides. Let's take a look at this slide. We are going to make a line plot for favorite color. We have labels, just like we would on a bar graph, that tell us about the information we're looking at. This label here tells us this is going to be the number of people choosing that color. The bottom label is colors. So we have red, green, pink, orange, purple, and blue. Over here is a stack of X's that I'm going to use to show the data. Down below is where we are going to get the information that we're going to put into our line plot. We have a color, then we have a section for tallies, and then we have a section for number. Number just means we're writing the tally marks in a number form. So this tally chart is showing us that one person chose red for their favorite color. I'm going to take one X and put it up on top of red. Next, I have two people that chose green for their favorite color, so I'm simply going to put two X's on top of green. Then I have 5 people that chose pink, so I'm going to go ahead and put 5 X's on top of pink. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next, orange. Only one person chose orange as their favorite color, so we're just going to put 1 X. Purple, there wasn't anyone that chose purple. And blue, we have 3, so we're going to take 3 X's and put them over to blue. 1, 2, and 3. So class, you can see this is very similar to what a bar graph would look like, except instead of shading bars, we're just putting X's there. And there's no numbers up the side, we just find out how many there are by counting the number of X's. So we can see there was 1 red, 2 green, 5 pink, 1 orange, 0 purple, and 3 blue. Here's that information again that we just saw on the last screen, except now I want to answer some questions using the information that I have. The first one's written right down here. It says, how many people answered the survey? That means how many people in all gave an answer to their favorite color. I can find this out by counting my X's. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people answered the survey because there are 12 marks for a favorite color. The next question says, right down here, what was the most popular color? This is called the mode. So what I want to look for is a color that has a lot of X's next to it because that means a lot of people chose that color as their favorite. If you look up at the line plot, which color has the most X's by it? Yep, it is pink. So pink is the mode, or the one that most people chose as their favorite color. Here we go. We are going to make another line plot on this screen. Caitlin made this list of how many flowers 8 different students picked. There were 3 flowers, 0 flowers, 5 flowers, 1 flower, 2 flowers, 7 flowers, 1 flower, and 3 flowers. The first thing we need to do is make a line plot to show this information. So here, one person picked 3 flowers. I'm going to go number of flowers picked. I'm going to put 1 X on 3 because one person on my list picked 3 flowers. One person on my list picked 0, so we're going to go ahead and show that. One person picked 5, so I'm going to take an X and put it over on 5. One person picked 1. Another person picked 2, so we're going to move an X over to 2. One person picked 7. One person picked 1. So here's another person out of those 8 people that only picked 1 flower. And another person picked 3. So we'll put a second X on 3. Now we have some questions down below. What is the maximum or most number of flowers that were picked? Now I'm not looking for the most number of X's. Be careful. What I want to know is the most number of flowers that somebody picked. So since I have an X down here on 7, 7 is the most number of flowers that were actually picked. So I'm going to put a 7 here. What is the minimum or smallest number somebody picked? If you look down here, the smallest number that somebody actually got was actually none, 0. So 0 is my least number. A poor person didn't find any flowers to pick that day. Range means I take the difference between my largest number and smallest. Difference means subtract. 7 minus 0 equals 7. So the range is 7. And now I'm looking for the mode, which is the most common. This one I do want to look for the most number of X's. What was the most common number of flowers people picked? In this case, actually, there's 2. We have 2 X's by 1 flower and 2 X's by 3 flowers. That makes it kind of tricky. We're just going to write both numbers. 1 and 3 were the most common number of flowers that were picked that day. Quiz time! You have a line plot up above that shows the number of minutes that students were reading. And so your job is to answer the 4 questions that you see down below. You need to write each question down in your notebook, and I would also like you to draw the line plot in your notebook. 1 says, what is the maximum or most number of minutes that were read this day? Number 2, what is the minimum or least number of minutes that were read? Number 3, what is the range or the difference between the most number of minutes read and the least number of minutes read this day? And then question number 4 says, what is the mode or the most popular number of minutes that were read? When you finish, please go ahead and put your answers into the quiz. That's it for today. Have a good evening. Bye.